to the world. Did I hear a thunder?
Shelley Winter Show live, local, topical, and relevant. If you are not familiar with his music, get familiar with his music. His name is D'Angelo, was D'Angelo. He passed today of pancreatic cancer, 51 years old. Great R&B soul singer. When R&B soul was at its peak, he was right there. Now it's a lot of whining. No, it is. It's become, we used to have, let me even talk about this for a second. I do want to get to Tron Legacy, but for those of you listening to me now, you're familiar with what I'm about to talk about because you know music, right? When you talk about love songs, you talk about singers, male singers. We used to have Teddy Pendergrass. We used to have Barry White. These dudes came with the bass in their voice. They didn't beg. They told a woman, I'm loving you. They told the woman, you're going to be loved by me, and it's going to be the greatest love you ever had. And then you had guys, Maxwell. Then you had, D'Angelo. These guys came along. They kind of kept that tradition going. The strong men type. Guys that talked about brown sugar and talked about the woman being the queen of everything. And you being the man. And clearly, as the man, you want me, woman. This is what they talked about. And like everything else in our world, the music turned, I would call it effeminate. It really did. It became soft, like the world around us. Machismo, manhood. Maleness became toxic, so you couldn't be too masculine because they slapped this label, toxic masculinity. And you got rid of the Barry's voices. You got rid of the D'Angelo voices. You got rid of the Maxwell voices. And you started bringing on these guys, these other guys. They're all 5'2". They got high tenor voices, high voices, and they're begging. Please love me, baby. Please love me. But this is what R&B became. And someone somewhere thought that was cute. And the women started responding to that. So now you have a whole group of women who will tell you, no, you pay for everything. No, you must take me to dinner at Bones on the first date. Oh, you know what? I just realized something. I think it's tomorrow night. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll explain what just happened in a few minutes. I will promise you. But it really changed. And I know what I'm saying is true because the world changed with the music. And I don't know what came first. I don't know if the music changed the world or the world changed the music. But I know they both changed at the same time. And I hear the same thing from my country music fans. They talk about a time when men talked about lost love as men. Yeah, she cheated on me, but I rebounded. I got over it, or I didn't get over it, or I went into whatever it is. But they were men, and men my country music fans talk about how country music became soft as well. It became pop music, right? That's what they complain about all the time. These are my country music fans. The same thing happened with R&B. And when you think about it, as I go down this road, I start to think more and more about it, and I start to think about hip hop. And how I've got hip-hop artists who are wearing dresses and makeup. And then I think about it more and more and more, and I realize that the R&B, the hip-hop, the country music, they all took men out of the picture. They took masculinity out of the picture. They took manhood out of the picture. And now you have a bunch of R&B with men begging in these high, whiny voices, please take me. Please love me. I'm going to love you if you love, like this whiny, kind of effeminate, raised by your mama and them, by herself kind of feelings. We've got to go back to the D'Angelos of the world. We got to go back to the Maxwells of the world. We got to go back to the Barry Whites and the Teddy Pendergrasses of the world if we're to snatch our manhood back. For country music, I don't know what your artist would be, but you understand what I'm saying. You got to go back to the guys that threw bottles and had barroom brawls. And when their woman left them high and dry, they didn't cry in a bottle. They fought. They drove 100 miles an hour in their F-150, screaming out the window. Because that's what men do when they get their hearts broken. They don't whine. They don't cry. I'm sorry. I wanted to talk about this movie. I will get back to it. But I had to say that. Rest in peace, D'Angelo. Rest in peace. He was a dude. This dude was right, Magic Mike? He was a man's man singing love songs. We need that back. We really need that back. I haven't listened to R&B. I haven't listened to a new R&B artist probably. I mean, they got skinny jeans. They're all like limp wristed. Like, I don't mean it in any kind of, derogatory fashion of their sexual identity. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about they don't sing with their chests out. Like, you can tackle them easily. You couldn't tackle Barry White. You couldn't tackle D'Angelo. You couldn't tackle Teddy Pendergrass. These guys, you can kind of pluck them in the forehead and they'll topple over. It's not right. Makes for a weak culture. Wakes for a weak country. We'll be right back. 448-720-0750. 1-800-WSB-TALK.
Happiness. Close to your love.